Markets, and they do remain lower following the FOMC rate decision, which was to stay on current rate levels with the expectations perhaps of maybe a December rate hike. Joining us now for reaction from the CME is Todd Horwitz, Chief Strategist at BubbaTrading.com. Hi, Todd. How are you?
I'm great, Catherine. Great to be here with you.
Good. Let's talk a little bit about the market reaction. I mean, I think everybody was expecting exactly what we got. My goodness.
Yeah, and the action was fairly muted. You know, we've been under pressure since last week. So, you know, we're down 7 days in a row. If we closed on today in the S&P, we broke a key level at 2120, and I think we're going to go significantly lower from here. But I think the market's kind of due a bouncer. I think they've already priced in that they were going to do nothing, and they were going to leave us all wondering what they might do in December. Now, we all know that they're going to raise in December, and they're going to cause the same kind of selling pressure at the beginning of next year that they did last year. But they like to make it and remain aloof to the street, like they actually know what they're doing, and we know they really are clueless and kind of backed into a corner and not sure what they're going to do. So I think the market is due a little bit of a bounce anyways, so I wouldn't put much credibility into the rally that we're probably going to get out of this. I think you're going to see significantly low prices, but I would not be surprised to see a 2120 print back in the S&P before we continue much lower.
Todd, why do you think, though, that we'll continue much lower?
I think that, first of all, you were from the business as well. You go in, there's all this M&A, and they keep talking about them every day. You know, M&A is typically the end of all bull markets because there's nothing else to do. They can't hire people. They can't do any CapEx spending, so the only way they can grow is to buy somebody. That's typically a problem. Number two problem is there's too much debt. We continue to accumulate debt, which is why the Fed is trying to be so careful of raising. We're at over 50% debt to GDP. Plus, the GDP number we just got was not a good number, and I guarantee that it will be revised. There's no way 2.9 stands the next time they come out with the GDP number. So there's so many bubble things going on here.
You don't believe the number?
No, I don't.
Wow.
No, I don't.
I mean, I shouldn't say wow.
I think
a lot
it's
of people
a phony
don't,
number.
But really, you think it's a phony number? 2.9% U.S. growth?
I think it's a phony. There's no way we're growing at 2.9%.
Why do you say
unless
that?
you can continue. There's no manufacturing, there's no building going on. Unless you're counting the bottles of wine that all the rich people are drinking, celebrating that they've got these low rates, you know, because that counts the same to GDP as manufacturing. So the GDP number itself is an adequate number to begin with. There is no way this country is growing. Where's the income coming from? Where's the money come from? It's laughable that they would even put a number like this, and I will bet any amount of money that they're going to revise this number the next time they report.
Okay, so you just don't see the U.S. growth strong enough, it sounds like, to keep these earnings hoping and helping the valuations will stay at these levels as well.
There is no growth, Catherine. Look at what's going on. We're getting $9.75 an hour jobs and losing all the manufacturing jobs. We've got the lowest participation rate since 1973. Where is the growth coming from? You know, you go store by store, there is nothing. You're getting, the big guys are getting bigger, and they're wiping out all the small business. Where's the competition? Where's the ability for the middle class to actually go out and be in business for themselves? Banks aren't giving any money. They're not making liquidity available. So again, I question where they found a 2.9 number. Okay. To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the logic.
Add to that and the uncertainty surrounding the elections. Those polls are tightening, and I think that that's been giving investors and traders a reason to sell. You got the Fed likely raising rates in December,
you're right.
And you've got the election uncertainty.
I think you're correct. I think Trump's going to win. You and I talked about it last time, and you yelled at me when I put out the odds, but I was really just saying that what they were. I believe he was going to win anyways. But I think Trump's going to win. I think that the market doesn't like that uncertainty.
You really think he's going to win, Todd?
I wrote yep, I've written about it forever, and I believe that he's going to win. I believe that he's not even going to win. I think he's going to win by a larger margin than anybody could ever imagine. That's my opinion, and I'm willing to put it out there with you because I've done so and I've written it. I think that people, when they go out in that voting booth, I think people are going to have a hard time voting for Hillary Clinton. I think that she's just a bad person, and I think she has a lot of things that are black marks against her that would not want people to vote for her.
Todd, this is really important because it of course affects the markets and what markets are expecting, and it affects, of course, what would happen here in Canada in terms of who would be leading the United States. So let me just stay on this for one more moment. With respect to Trump, and
Sure.
you say Trump would win, you really think that he's going to have enough support to win the 270 electoral votes that he needs? Because that's the issue. A lot of people say he just won't have that, but she will. And he's got to win Pennsylvania.
I believe he will get them. And I believe, as I said, I don't think anybody would really freely stand up and admit that they were going to vote for Donald Trump. I mean, let's face it, he's got his own issues, right? So I don't think people would freely stand up and say, I'd vote for Trump. But he really represents the opportunity for real change. When you look at the dynamics behind him, why is he running? Why does he want to be here? Either it's for his ego or he really wants to make a change. In either case, it takes the government finally out of the equation at the top, and maybe we can actually get some real change over the next 4 or 5 years, because our political system is so messed up right now with all the political favors that go on, that, again, they've forgotten about the people that actually build and that they tax all the time. Every time there's a problem, who do they tax? They tax the middle class. They've forgotten about us. So I think that Trump really represents a chance for real change, and I think people will, when they go behind the booth,
Yeah.
I think you'll see there'll be a lot more than you think.
And you're smiling. Todd, I got to leave it there because we're going to lose the window, but thank you very much as always.